Dear viewers, in this series we will talk about Chaucer to Shakespeare and we will solve some questions based on Chaucer to Shakespeare's time. Now let's start practicing. The first question is: the Norman conquest of England in the Battle of Hastings is an important landmark in the history of English literature. It occurred in the year option A 1066, option B 1076, option C 1065, and option D 1075. The correct answer is 1066. So, the Norman conquest of England in the Battle of Hastings is an important landmark in the history of English literature. It occurred in the year 1066. Second question: Beowulf, the only important piece of literature surviving since the Old English period, is lyrical ballad, B. prose narrative, C. Anglo-Saxon epic, D. classical epic. The correct answer is C. Anglo-Saxon epic. So, Beowulf, the only important piece of literature surviving since the Old English period, is an Anglo-Saxon epic. Third question: out of the four chief dialects that flourished in the pre-Chaucerian period, the one that became the standard English in Chaucer's time is option A, the Northern, option B, the East Midland, option C, the West Midland, and option D, the Southern. The correct answer is the East Midland. So, out of the four chief dialects, that means the East Midland dialect flourished in the pre-Chaucerian period and it became the standard English in Chaucer's time. Next question: which one of the following is not one of the features of French literature that the Normans imported to England? Option A, clarity of expression, option B, varied verification, option C, gloom and otherworldly attitude, option D, varied moods and themes. The correct answer is gloom and otherworldly attitude. Now, that was not the feature of French literature and which the Normans imported to England. Next question: which of following was a characteristic feature of medieval literature? Option A, a large body of personal literature. Option B, realism in presentation of time and space. Option C, absence of alliteration in poetry. Option D, the popular genre of the bird and the beast fable. For the fifth question, the correct answer is D. The popular genre of the bird and the beast fable was a characteristic of medieval literature. Next question: which of the following statement is incorrect regarding medieval literature? Option A, allegory was frequent and usual. Option B, the dream vision convention was prevalent. Option C, Chaucer exploited the dream vision convention in the Canterbury Tales. Option D, there was often an undercurrent of moral and didactic strain. For the sixth question, the correct answer is C. Chaucer exploited the dream vision convention in the Canterbury Tales, and this is basically incorrect regarding medieval literature. Next question: the poet who was born in the reign of Edward III lived through that of Richard II and died in the reign of Henry IV. was option A, Trevelyan, option B, Chaucer, option C, Boccaccio, and option D, Langland. For this question, the, the correct answer is B. Chaucer. Chaucer was born in the reign of Edward III, lived through the Richard II, and died in the reign of Henry IV. The Black Death that swept over England when Chaucer was about 9 years old, another name for option A, the Great Plague, option B, the Great Flood, option C, the Great Drought, and option D, the Great Revolt. The correct answer is the Great Plague. It was another name for the Black Death that swept over England when Chaucer about 9 years old. There were three important medieval institutions. Which of the following was not one of them? Option A, feudalism. Option B, chivalry or knight errantry. Option C, end of serfdom. Option D, rise of nationalism. The correct answer for this question is option C, end of serfdom. The next question. In Chaucer's time, the peasant revolt resulted in the dethronement of the king. Option B, Italian Renaissance. Option C, German Renaissance. Option D, all of the above. For this question, the correct answer is option B, Italian Renaissance. Next question. The spirit of new learning in the transitional period from the medieval to the modern was chiefly the influence of French Renaissance, Italian Renaissance, German Renaissance, and all of the above. The correct answer is B, Italian Renaissance. The two French writers who considerably influenced Chaucer in his early literary career were Dolores, Timeo, Dante, and Boccaccio, Blanche and Dolores, Blanche and Gore. The correct answer is option A, Dolores and Timeo. These are the two French writers who considerably influenced Chaucer in his early literary career. That was all for this part. Thank you. See you there in the next part.